Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajamaline Namo Pankajanitraya Namaste Pankajangri. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Yom Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Om Ajnanatimiram Dhasya Gnanam Janashalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Vancha kalpataru bhayascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Iskon Vartaman Guru Vrinda ki jai. Zolna Javata Swami Guru Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna. So happy to be here in Parthasarathy Foundation Youth Forum class and to be amongst the young and the bright and the smart people. In fact, I'm very nervous when I have to give a class to the youth. That they're so extremely smart and so sharp and very difficult to answer their questions. And just 2 days ago, I was in my school and I was telling a story to the young children, the story of the thirsty crow. I'm sure you must have heard, it's a very common story. I was just explaining how the crow took the stones, pebbles, and one by one he was putting it in the water pot and how the water came up. And I was, very dramatically telling them, and I thought I'm actually inspiring them. At the end of it, my expectation was that, the kids will understand that how hard work is so important and determination and all. But one of the girls, she raised a hand. She says, "Ma'am, I want to say something." And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Well, if I was in the place of the crow, I would never go and get those stones." And I thought, how come by this story I de-inspired them, So I said, "Then what would you do to drink the water?" So she said, "I would simply go to the departmental store nearby and get a straw, get a couple of straws, put them together and sip the water. Why will I work hard to get the stones and then put them one by one?" And I thought, my God, I can't speak to this generation. So I am, pretty nervous how I'm supposed to address the youth because they're way too smart. But since I'm already here, I'll make an attempt. So the goal of our life is to go back home, back to Krishna. Now, if we need to go somewhere, we need permission, we need address, we need, some kind of an invite, like in this material world. When you have to go to other countries, you need an invitation letter, you need a sponsor letter, you need something like this, and then you can get a visa stamped. That is, I have an invite and I am having the right documents and I can go to that place. Now, if you want to go to Goloka Vrindavan, then we need an invite from Krishna, we need a sponsor letter, and then the authorities here in this world will stamp our visas and we can go to Goloka. But even if Krishna wants to invite us, or he wants to, give us his sponsor letter, he wants to talk to us, are we able to hear his messages? Are we able to receive his mercy? Maybe he wants to give, but are we receiving it? Are we having that, capability? Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, if you can't hear Krishna's ankle bell, then you try to hear Krishna's flute. Or you can't hear Krishna's flute, then try to hear Krishna's sweet voice. Or you can't hear Krishna's sweet voice, then at least try to hear Krishna's messages. So actually, the level should be where we can directly hear Krishna's message. Krishna is day in and day out, talking to us, giving messages, sometimes through his Vani, Bhagavad Gita, or through his, devotees, Bhagavatam, or his messengers, by Shastra. So many ways Krishna is giving us messages. But are we receiving them? Are we able to hear them? What are the qualifications? How can we hear Krishna's messages? How can we hear Krishna's communication? So, today I thought we will discuss on 4 sutras in our life. If and when implemented, then we can actually hear very clearly Krishna's messages. And if we can hear Krishna's messages, if we can hear Krishna, what he wants to say, then we can communicate and we can go back home, back to Godhead. So we will discuss today 4 important sutras, very simple sutras. I'll read them for you, and then we will go in depth about how we can have these 4 magic sutras in our life and make our life happy and go back home, back to Godhead dancing, go back home, back to Godhead dancing. So, Krishna consciousness in the beginning is like an identity. Okay, I'm a Hare Krishna devotee. It's about, physical appearance. Okay, I wear a tilak, I wear kanti, I'm, dhoti kurta, I belong to this community, I'm a Hare Krishna, I put tilak. But then slowly Krishna consciousness moves from identity to action. Yeah, I'm devotee, so what I do for Krishna? Oh, I distribute books, I do sadhana, I chant my rounds, I take prasadam. Okay, now it needs to move from identity to mentality also. You are a devotee always. You are not a devotee only on Sundays. You are not a devotee on Janmashtami and Radhashtami. You are a devotee 24/7. So from identity, it moves to action, to mentality. So how do we get that mentality? And what should we do to get that mentality? So these are the 4 sutras. So the 4 sutras are, we should hear without defending. We should live without pretending. We should speak without offending. And we should love without expecting. If we do this, then we can have a blissful journey back home, back to Godhead. So what does it mean by hearing without defending? And this is the, foremost thing. The whole Krishna conscious life begins with hearing, Sravanam. And the fact that today we are in this material world is because of lack of Shravanam. Now, how is this connected? Why are we in this material world? Because we didn't do Shravan last life. Because we didn't do proper Shravanam. When we do proper Shravanam, when we do proper hearing, when Krishna enters, through our ears into our heart, then there will be a change in us, and we'll be purified, and then we can go back home, back to Godhead. So the whole thing is because of lack of proper Shravanam, or rather Shravanam in the right mood. So hearing without defending. Usually whether it is a class or anything, we become very defensive. We are not able to hear with open heart. Even when a speaker is giving a Bhagavatam class or speaking something about Krishna, we have our own defense wall around us, which we're not allowing them to, come in. It's like it's raining everywhere, but if you are having an umbrella, then you won't get raindrops on you. So Krishna's mercy is flowing everywhere. When we hear Bhagavatam, actually the whole mercy is flowing on us. But if we are sitting with an umbrella, then it doesn't come inside. So what is that umbrella? That umbrella is umbrella of defense. That umbrella is defending ourselves. No, actually, the speaker is saying like that, but how is that possible? No, he's saying like that or she's saying like that, but I don't think this is completely true. I don't think that is possible. So we are all the time defending. We are not taking things with open heart. Once we break those barriers and we completely surrender. Yes, what they are saying is for my benefit, and yes, it's possible to implement, and yes, I'm going to do it. Then we can go back home, back to Godhead. So hearing without defending. We actually, our nature is, when it comes to others, we become judge. When it comes to us, we become lawyer. We make a mistake, we start fighting our case. Actually, I did like this because this happened, I did this because this happened. We are not ready or open to hear or open to correction or open to feedbacks. We become very defensive. And in the case of others' mistake, we become judge. He shouldn't have done that. It's not correct behavior. Immediately, we don't even give benefit of doubt. There must be something behind it, why he did that or what. We become judge and we immediately, give the final decision. So the first and foremost quality that a devotee needs to develop is to be open to hearing feedbacks, open to hearing, taking corrections. It is so important. If we don't take corrections, then our anarthas keep on increasing. Taking correction is like becoming a beautiful human being, just like a goldsmith. A goldsmith, when the goldsmith hits the gold, then the gold, becomes into a beautiful bangle. But if we don't allow the goldsmith to do his job, then it will just remain like a, lump of gold, but there will be no beauty in it. So when we are corrected, when we are given feedback, when we hear, without being defensive about it, then we can become beautiful devotees. See, hearing without defending essentially means to be in humble state of mind, to be open to corrections. And humility is the first step. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Trinadapi sunichena daroliva sahishuna amanina amanadena kirtane sadahari. If you want to do satatam kirtana, then you will have to have that temperature. You will have to be humble. You will have to be tolerant. You will have to be, unless and until you are, in that humble state of mind, you can't even chant Hare Krishna properly. So one has to be so careful. This whole point of defending comes because of our false ego. And this subtle body is the one which is keeping us away from Krishna. This subtle body which is made up of mind, ego and intelligence. This is what is keeping us away from Krishna. Physical body is not keeping us away. This physical body is anyway, we leave it here. But this subtle body is one which we've been carrying from so many lifetimes. So what is this subtle body made up of? Is mind, ego and intelligence. And this ego is one which is causing a barrier between us and Krishna. So we need to, remove this ego. And how that will happen when we associate with Vaishnavas, we take their corrections, we with an open heart, we hear them, then we can bring about changes in our life. Actually, there is nothing wrong in taking correction from people. The fact that we don't like it is only because of our inflated ego, false ego. Otherwise, it is something like, if a doctor tells you tomorrow, madam, your hemoglobin is less, that's what the blood report is showing, what will you do? You will start fighting with the doctor. How dare you? You said my hemoglobin is low. How dare you speak like that with me? No, we don't say that. Oh, my hemoglobin is low. All right, I'll start changes in my diet. I'll start taking dates. I'll make sure that I have iron in my body, in my diet. There's nothing to feel bad about it. It's just telling you what's there in your blood. When people give us feedback or corrections, there is nothing wrong. We can just hear them and then just bring about the right change in ourselves. It's actually such a fortune to have somebody in our life who will actually correct us. In fact, if you really want to check how healthy is your spiritual life, then you should find out how many people are there in your life who are ready to correct you. How many people are there in your life who are ready to do proofreading of your life? If there are many people around there, then your spiritual life is very healthy. And if you don't find anybody, then you understand. Because when somebody is humble, people will be ready to come and offer suggestions, give you a feedback. But if somebody is having a lot of pride, then people keep away from them. They don't want to give any corrections. Immediately they will say, I don't think I should tell her this, or she'll feel bad about it. I don't think she'll like it. I don't know how she'll take it. So if people have that kind of opinion about us, it's very unhealthy. The kind of opinion that people should have about us is, oh, that Mataji, I'll tell her, that's all right. She won't mind. She'll immediately accept it and she'll bring about the change. Oh, shall I go and tell her? I'll tell her, no issue. I can go and speak to her. I don't mind. So when people talk about us like that, then we should know we are in a healthy space where people are not afraid to come and talk to us, not afraid to come and give us corrections. So then we are in a safe zone. But when people are reluctant to come to us, then we understand we are in a danger zone. Who will correct us? Who will help us? So hearing without defending. Hearing without defending. We should be ready. See, it may not be a very sweet thing. You may feel a pain when somebody says something, Every time it's not so easy to take it in a very positive way. But if we take it, then we will improve. Change is always difficult to accept. But when you accept, you grow. You see in the Krishna Leela how Krishna corrects Kubja. She was deformed and Krishna corrects her and she becomes beautiful. So it's not that Krishna did some kind of a magic, like he just used some magical powder and he said, oh, boom, boom, now you became beautiful. No, actually Krishna worked on her. He stamped her feet and he pulled her chin up and he pulled her torso. So don't think that it was very nice. It will be painful if somebody stamps your leg and, just pulling your body and, it's painful. But Kubja surrendered and the result was she lost her hunchback and she became a beautiful human being. So it's not that every time when people give us corrections or they say something or feedback, it will be very pleasant. But if you tolerate it, right, then you become a beautiful human being. So Krishna is ready to give corrections. Are we ready to accept it? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu corrected, Kala Krishnadas. Krishna corrected Brahma. Krishna corrected Indra. So, the Lord is ready to give us correction. The devotees are ready to give us correction. But we have built a wall around us and we don't want corrections. So then we can't improve. So this is one thing. Hear without defending. See, usually we are averse to correction means we are attached to this material world. We are attached to this. That's why people don't take corrections very positively, because they are afraid to lose their glory, or they are afraid that, I want this and if I take correction then I won't get it. For example, in the scriptures there is this pastime of Kacha. Kacha was a disciple of Shukracharya, and Shukracharya had a beautiful daughter called Devayani. Devayani got very attracted to Kacha, and then one day she approached Kacha and said, I want to marry you. So Kacha said, look, I have not even thought in that way. You are my guru's daughter, so you're very respectable to me. So I cannot think like that. So I cannot get married to you. I'm very sorry. So immediately she said, oh, you don't want to get married to me? You are insulting me? I curse you. All the knowledge that you have taken from my father will go away. And then he got very angry. What is this? By no fault of mine, you are cursing me. I curse you. You will never marry a Brahmana. So now what happened here? There was hearing, which hearing supposed to be without defending. But what she did here is, as soon as she heard no, she could not accept it. She could have humbly accepted, okay, so you don't want to marry me? Okay, here ends the matter. I go back. But she said, how dare you? She's not ready to hear that. People want to hear what they want to hear. And they're not ready to, because of that, what happened? She cursed, and then she got counter-cursed, right? So, people are not ready to take corrections, not ready. In fact, you see in the case of Dronacharya and Drupada, when Drona goes to Drupada and tells him that, oh, you are my friend and you promised me that, you'll always help me, so here I am. And immediately Drupada becomes very defensive. What will people think about me? This wretched old, wretched looking man, poor looking Brahmana, he comes with a torn dhoti right inside my palace and he's telling everybody that I am his friend. What will people think about me? So he immediately says, don't talk like that. You want some donation, take donation and go. Don't use these words like I am your friend and all. Don't use such words. So immediately. And then what happens? And then Dronacharya also gets angry. Oh, he insulted me. Now I'm going to, insult him back. So then when he, trains and coaches the Pandavas for Guru Dakshina, he asks them that, get that fellow Drupada, tie him like an animal and bring him to me. Now again, the matter could have ended there. But Drupada thought, okay, this is what he did to me, Dronacharya, I will not leave him. And then he goes back again and he does a yajna where he gets Draupadi and Drishtadyumna and he wants to kill Dronacharya. So what's happening here? Simply Drupada could have, take it in a proper way. He didn't want that feedback that how dare you call me your friend and bring me to your level. Or if Dronacharya could have taken it that way, okay, fine, he doesn't want to associate with me, there ends the matter. But we don't stop it there. And that's how we get into this cycle, where he says something, then we say something, and because we said something, now he will say something, and then it keeps going on. So we are not ready to take feedback. So we have to hear without defending. If we are not doing hearing without defending, means that our humility quotient is very low. You see in the case of Sharmishtha and Devayani, when Lord Shiva was passing there through on his bull, and these girls were taking bath in a pond, and they saw Lord Shiva and they said, oh, how can we take bath like this? Lord Shiva is passing, let's cover ourselves with cloth. So what happens is Devayani, she wears Sharmishta's clothes because of that hurry, Shiva is passing and something needs to be done immediately. And then Sharmishta gets very angry and says, how can you, Devyani gets very angry that how can you, wear my clothes, I'm a Brahmana's daughter and you are a Kshatriya's daughter. Why did you wear my clothes? So when she insults him and calls him like a dog, Sharmishta being a Kshatriya gets very angry and she takes Devyani and puts her inside the well. Now, the whole thing had repercussions. She put her in the well. And now what happened? So now she got very angry. Devyani got very angry. And ultimately, Sharmishta had to live as a slave, as a maid servant for Devyani for the rest of her life because of this one small incident. So what she had to do at that moment is, when Devyani said something like this, oh, how you can take my clothes, just like a dog takes the clarified butter which is to be used for sacrifice, that way you have taken my cloth. She could have just accepted the feedback. Yeah, actually, it's my mistake. I shouldn't have, maybe I was in a hurry and there would have ended the matter. But no, she immediately reacted, and then as a result, she had to suffer in future. So, hear without defending. See, it is something like the phone, like you have your phone, regularly you get updates on your phone, notifications to upgrade your phone or, some software upgrade or some software things. You don't get angry about it. You don't feel bad about it. When you get the notification, you update your phone. When you update your phone, whatever the bugs are there, they are gone, and you get new icons, and the phone is upgraded. Similarly, when people offer us feedback, okay, whatever are our shortcomings, we can get free from them, and we can improve, we can refine our life, and we can make it more beautiful. So the whole point is we need to be ready to accept our imperfections. If we don't accept our imperfections, then we'll start pretending. We'll start pretending because we don't want to accept I'm like this, and then we'll keep a mask. We will pretend. So that brings us to our next sutra. We should hear without defending, and we should live without pretending. This is very important. We should not try to become somebody else. One size does not fit all. We should not try to get into other people's mold. That is what makes us pretend. Because we are not, this is not our nature. This is not how we are, or this is not what we like. But because this other person is, expecting that from us, or that will make us look better in front of the other person's eyes, so we will we will pretend. And being pretentious is not healthy for our Krishna consciousness. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, weakness is not an obstacle in Krishna consciousness. Cheating is an obstacle. If you are weak, you have certain issues, talk about it. But if you pretend that you have no issue, then that is an obstacle in Krishna consciousness. If we are trying to be hypocrite. So this is another sutra. Don't worry about, क्या कहेंगे लोग, सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग, what he will think and what she will think and what he will think. And our whole life is busy in impressing people whom we don't even like, frankly. But we want to impress them. And all our energy, all our time is wasted in that. And the problem is, energy and time is very limited in this human birth. We hardly have few years to live. And in that, whatever that time and energy we have, we utilize it in impressing others or putting up a show. But if that same energy we utilize in actually becoming what we are, what we want people to believe about us, then we can actually grow. That same energy and time, if we utilize in actually becoming a good devotee, than to put a show as a good devotee. So live without pretending, If we pretend, if we lie, then we cheat, and then we repeat, lie, repeat, cheat, lie, repeat, cheat, then what will happen? We will be stuck in the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease, and we'll be never able to come out. Actually, we put so many masks and so many masks and so many masks, sometimes we ourselves forget what's our real picture and how do we really look like. Right? So we need to align our life. We are living 3 lives. One is a public life, which people know about us. One is a private life, which our family members know. And one is a secret life, which only Krishna knows, what's going in our heart. But we need to align all these 3 lives and make it one. Whatever is inside is outside. If we can do that, this is one sutra, then we can, happily go back home, back to Godhead. So half of our time is wasted in pretending, half of our time is wasted in thinking what people will think about us. I was hearing somewhere, first 20 years of our life, we are so much worried about what people are thinking about us. Another 20 years of our life, we are not bothered. We don't care what people are thinking about us. And in the final years of our life, we realize nobody was thinking about us anyway. They were not even thinking about us. We were worried what she's thinking about me, what he's thinking about me, but people were not even thinking about us. And we wasted our whole life trying to impress them, thinking that they may be thinking about us. Then what they will think about me, better I should behave like that, better I should talk like that, better I should walk like that, better I should dress like that. But they're not even thinking about us. So living without pretending. We should not worry so much about, others' opinions and, it's like if there are some broken glasses or there is a broken mirror, you don't change your hairstyle looking in the broken mirror. If you do that, you will end up making a worse hairstyle because that mirror is broken. How will you set your hair properly? If a mirror is clear, you can make some changes. The mirror itself is broken. So there is no point of trying to change your ways just because, what she may think, and because she is wearing like that, I should also, because they got admission in this college, I should also get admission in this college, because she's talking like that, I should talk in her style. Krishna has made everybody unique. If somebody is making good dresses for Krishna, somebody can sing for Krishna, somebody can dance for Krishna, somebody can cook for Krishna. In Goloka Vrindavan, the peacock is not worried, why am I not able to give milk like the cow? I want to give milk for Krishna. And neither the cow is thinking, why can't I dance like peacock for Krishna? The cow is thinking, I can give milk and I'll give milk for Krishna. The peacock is thinking, I can dance and I'll dance for Krishna. So we don't need to, worry about what the others are doing. We can do what we are good at. Krishna has made everybody unique, and we can be very open about it. This is how I am. This is what it is. This is my capacity. This is my capability. This is what I can do. And we don't need to worry so much about trying to impress other. The more original and authentic we are, the more, the burden will become less. It's like when you go to a doctor, if you are truthful to the doctor, okay, this is my situation with the stomach, the doctor can do something. But if you put up a face and you pretend, no, actually it's okay, that much pain is not there in the stomach, only little pain is there, then doctor will not give you the right medicine. So we need to stop pretending. Okay, see, when we pretend or make a show of what we are not, whatever the weaknesses that we have inside will magnify, and slowly it will kill us from inside, just like a termites. Termites, when they enter, I don't know if you have seen a door which is termite infested, so some wood. At the outset, it will look so nice. You will think it's wonderful. But only when you touch and push it, you will see everything is, finished from inside, because a termite has eaten it up. I'm reminded of the story of a hunter. Actually, he went in an area for hunting which was prohibited. It was a protected area, some particular protected forest. But he never realized, and he went and hunted a wolf. And after some time, he realized that, oh, this is a protected forest, and I'm not supposed to hunt here. And to his horror, he heard that a jeep, looks like some officer is coming, and he thought, what am I supposed to do now? The officer will catch me, put me in the prison, and I've hunted in this prohibited area. So he immediately, because he had a big coat, so whatever that wolf that he had killed, he's just half dead now. He takes the wolf and somehow hides inside the coat and wears his coat and very innocently sits there on the bench. And then this forest officer comes and asks him, oh, what are you doing here? This is a prohibited area. Oh, nothing, sir. It's just a nice breeze is blowing and I'm a nature lover. I'm just enjoying these trees and these hills and nothing much. So then he sat next to him and both have a nice conversation, and they went on talking. Now what's happening inside? This wolf is inside, half dead wolf inside the coat, and he's just moving around, and now this forest officer is not leaving. He's going on talking. And after some time, when the forest officer finally left, this man was dead. Why was he dead? Because as the forest officer was talking to him, the wolf inside, which was half dead, was eating away his flesh from inside. So he was tolerating, and finally when the forest officer left, he also collapsed. This is what happens with us, when we pretend, and then inside all the anarthas, they're actually eating, and but still the tilak is there, but actually kanti is still there, and mala bag is also there in the hand, and you are still wearing dhoti kurta, but inside there is nothing. It's all over, and suddenly you will collapse one day. You will be out of bhakti. So one has to be so careful not to pretend. So as Bhakti Saraswati Thakur said, that is a problem. Cheating is a problem. See, in Kali Yuga, the dharma is standing only on one leg. The other legs are gone, and that one leg is truthfulness. At least we should try to be truthful. We should try to be honest. Among the 4 defects of human being, having imperfect senses, or having a cheating propensity, or imperfect senses, being illusioned. Among all these four defects, committing a mistake, other three are not in our hand. We can't do anything about, being illusioned. In this material world, we'll be illusioned. We can't do anything about our imperfect senses. Because our senses are imperfect, we'll commit a mistake. They say, to err is human. You will make some error, you'll make some mistake. You can't do anything about these three things. But after making a mistake, if you lie about it, that one thing is in our hand. Not to lie and honestly accept it, not to pretend. That one thing is still there in our hand, and we can make a change there, So truthfulness, one should be honest. One should be honest. One should not pretend. One should not pretend. In fact, in the early years of ISKCON, there was this one man, when devotees were trying to convince him to become devotee, and books and talking about Srila Prabhupada, he was thinking in his mind that I want to check out this Swamiji. So he decided that he will do the service of driving Srila Prabhupada everywhere. So for 1 week he drove Srila Prabhupada around. At the end of 1 week he said, this Swamiji, he's a pakka sadhu. So the devotees asked, why are you saying so? So he said, I observed this Swamiji 24/7, driving him here and there. I saw him in public with hundreds of people. I saw him in private, simply alone. I saw him every moment. And I saw one thing about him. He's never trying to impress anybody. He is what he is. He is the same when he's inside the room. He's the same when he's talking with thousands of people. He's the same when he's talking with one person, two person. He's really a sadhu. He's not pretending. He's not acting. He is a sadhu. So live without pretending. We should not worry so much about what people will think or do, and we should not invest our time in trying to impress people or trying to get some false glory. See, the whole point is, imagine somebody tells you, buy these shares, okay, invest money in these shares, but only thing I want to tell you, at the end of the year, the value of this share will become 0. Will you buy that shares? I'll not buy. But as of now, it's wonderful. The share is at 1,000 rupees per share, or whatever, even if it's 1 lakh. If at the end of the financial year, it's going to become 0, why should I invest in that share? Intelligent people will not. Similarly, we are investing so much in this material world. I want to look best. I want to talk best. I want people should think great about me. But the problem is, all these things you'll have to leave at the end of your life. You can't carry it. Even if you are the most beautiful and the most intelligent and the most richest person and the most popular person, the problem is you can't carry that to your next life. So what's the point? At the end of the life, is anyway going to become 0. It's not that, I can carry my YouTube subscribers to my next life. That option is not there. It's going to end here. So what's the point, Working so hard, trying to impress people and convincing them, please be convinced I'm very nice devotee. Please be convinced I'm very great devotee. What's the point? We're simply wasting our time. That much energy we can use in actually becoming a nice devotee, or having a mentor in our life and discuss where we can make an improvement and how we can become a better devotee. So we discussed 2 things here. Hearing without defending, and living without pretending. Now we come to the next 3rd sutra, speaking without offending. This is very important sutra. In Krishna consciousness, sometimes we become very insensitive, in the name of devotion or in the name of seva. Sometimes we are very insensitive to people around us. So we have to be very careful. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 17.15, the austerity of speech. When you speak something, it should be satyam, should be truth, priyam, it should be pleasing and beneficial. It should be for the welfare of the others. If you are speaking something and it's not for their hita, then don't speak. That is the austerity of speech. In that verse, Krishna says, there's 3 things, and then he says, use your speech for reciting scriptures, for reciting Vedas. Actually, devotee is supposed to be mauni. That is one of the quality of a Vaishnava devotee. Mauni means he should not speak unnecessarily. So Prabhupada says, okay, actually you're not supposed to speak anything. But Prabhupada says, okay, then speak about Krishna. Even if at all you have that urge, no, I have to speak, I want to speak, I can't live without speaking, then speak about Krishna. But don't speak unnecessarily. So we have to be very careful. Sometimes our speech is so rough. We end up hurting people. No, we may very proudly think that I am following the 4 rules and regulation. No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex and no gambling. But when we hurt people with our words, we are actually doing meat eating. We are killing them. Because killing is not always physical only, that you go and hurt somebody. Actually, words are more dangerous killer. In fact, sometimes if you hurt somebody, physically, maybe after 10 days the pain goes away. But when you hurt somebody with your words, it stays for a long time in the person's mind. So one has to be so careful what are the words one is using. One should not be very careless about it, that moment I just felt, so I just said it, I could not control myself. No, one should pause. What am I about to speak? Is it going to be benefited to that person? What I'm speaking, is it truth? What I'm speaking, will it please that person? What I'm speaking, is it necessary? Will it help me or him? Why am I speaking this? So one has to be so careful and selective in what we are speaking. And sometimes, an argument may come up saying that, actually I don't want to speak, but because he said that, I had to just answer. I don't want to speak or I don't want to argue also, but because he said that, because she said that, so I just replied back. So I just had to put my... See, I'm reminded of a very funny story. It's a story, the jungle story. There was this donkey and a tiger. Both of them had an argument. The donkey was saying that the grass is blue, and the tiger was saying, how can the grass be blue? The grass is green. So both of them had argument for 10 days. Finally they thought, okay, fine, let's go to the king of the jungle. He will sort out our problem. So they went to the lion. Lion is the king of the jungle. The donkey said, my lord, this fellow tiger is irritating me last 15 days. I'm trying to convince him that the grass is blue. So what do you say, my lord? Is it not the grass blue? So immediately the lion said, well, if you say so, yeah, the grass is blue. So immediately donkey became very happy, started jumping. He said, please punish this fellow. Last 15 days he's irritating me. He's not agreeing. Then immediately the lion said, okay, I punish the tiger. For 3 days he should not talk to anybody. Mauna-vrata, and nobody should talk to him. The punishment was pronounced and the court was adjourned and everybody left. After 3 days of Mauna-vrata, the tiger comes to the lion and asks, my dear sir, is not the grass green? Lion said, yes, the grass is green. But sir, just a few days back you said grass is blue and you punished me and you favored the donkey. He said, yes, I punished you because how can you be such a fool to have an argument for 15 days with a mere donkey? You being a tiger, is it correct to waste so much time discussing with a donkey? So you definitely deserve a punishment. So this is our situation. Sometimes we unnecessarily engage in defending, offending. Not required. Every battle does not need to be fought. Every time you don't need to prove to others, actually I was right. Not required. Sometimes you just leave it. Let the donkey think that the grass is blue. Don't waste your time and energy. So this is one sutra. We should hear without defending and we should speak without offending. We should not unnecessarily try to offend somebody or try to prove our superiority. One should be very sensitive. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house for prasadam, his son-in-law Amogha was criticizing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never replied or never bothered to answer him. No, actually, it's like this. Actually, because he was saying, oh, you're a sannyasi and you're eating like this. He thought it's a waste of time. I don't need to, defend myself, or I don't need to, counter back, So that is not every battle has to be fought. You have to see how important it is. At the same time, not making a blanket statement that somebody comes and tells you have stolen my pen, or you have stolen my purse, and you will say, but Mataji said here without defending. I'll not defend. Yes, I have stolen. No, you have to be rational. So what we are trying to say is that don't fight every battle. Just be selective. Where it needs to be spoken, it needs to be spoken. It needs to be told. When it's not required and you're just doing it to prove your superiority or your intelligence, forget it. Don't waste your time. Because anyway, there is no point of impressing these people. They're not coming with you. You have to try to impress Guru and Krishna, because he's the one who will take us back home, back to Godhead. See, the ladies, when they go to the shop, especially in India, I'm not talking about the West, they will see 100 saris, take out this, take out this, take out this. And nowadays, all the more, they'll make a WhatsApp video call to their friends, and then they will show them, what do you say about this pink sari? What do you say about this red sari? After 2 hours of eating the brains of the salesman, they will say, I think I'll come after some time. I didn't like any of the sari. Maybe I'll come later. And the salesmen, they will be so courteous, smiling. No problem, madam. You can come later. Fine. Nothing they will say. Actually, they may be boiling inside. Oh, she wasted my 2 hours and didn't even buy one sari. But they understand one thing. Whether she buys the sari or she doesn't buy it, what's my problem? If I am courteous to her and I am sweet to her, my boss, the owner of the shop, who is sitting at the bill counter, is looking at me. And if he sees that I am behaving courteously with the customers, he will give me salary at the end of the month. Anyway, this lady is not the one who is going to give my salary. So why should I even get angry on her? I should behave nicely because my boss will be happy, and my boss is the one who will give my salary. That's how we should think when we behave with people around this world. Forget about how they behave with you. But if you behave nicely with them, the boss who is going to give our salary at the end of the month, that is the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, he is going to be happy with us. And our whole agenda is to make him happy. Don't worry about making the people of this world happy. Anyway, they don't give you anything. They can't give you anything, even if they want to. If you want something, ask Krishna. If you want to impress somebody, impress Krishna. Because you'll get something. If you impress the people of the world, you don't get anything. It's simply waste of your time and energy. So speak without offending. Words can give a lot of pain. It's more painful than physical pain. In fact, words are so powerful. They can bring about a change in the chemistry of your body. In fact, there are so many endless examples of how when somebody was angry and, was feeding breast milk to the baby died because of the anger. The milk turned into poison. So many chemical changes come into our body when, by the way we speak or talk or project ourselves. It's very important. In fact, imagine you just had a tussle with somebody, or spoke harshly with somebody, and then you come and start your chanting. You can't chant nicely. It will disturb your mind so much, you cannot concentrate. But imagine you have cordial relations with everybody and very happy, and then you come and sit and chant Hare Krishna. You can do it so nicely, so beautifully, because mind is okay. So this is how it is. Speaking without offending. We should be very careful. We should be sensitive. One of the devotee other day was, giving a very nice realization about book distribution. He was saying that how, somewhere in the streets of America, he was doing book distribution. So, when we are distributing books, we are like, this devotee may take this devotee. So he saw, somebody looks like, from Asian, the texture and the color of the skin is like that. So he thought, okay, let me just, go and try to sell him the book. So he went and said, sir, please take this Bhagavad Gita, something like that. He was trying to explain. Then immediately this man said, no, I have Gita, I don't want Gita. So immediately, this devotee, very sharp, very intelligent, he said, no, you have Bhagavad Gita, but this is Bhagavad Gita part 2. And second part of it. And this man was very sharp. Pat came the reply. Part 2 also I have read already. Then he immediately understood he must be an Indian. So sharply he answered. Then immediately he said, well, okay, even if you have it, I want to gift it to you. So he spoke for another 10-15 minutes. It's just a gift, So finally he said, okay, fine. If it's a gift, I'll take it. So he took it. After taking the book, immediately the brahmachari, he asked, sir, can you give some donation, for the book? So he said, for donation for what? No, sir, it's not for me, it's for the temple. If you like to, no force. I gave you the book. It's something like an exchange. I gave you something. You can also give something for the Lord, Give me something, whatever you like to. Immediately this guy said, well, look, knowledge should not be sold, Don't ask money for knowledge. Knowledge should be given. It should not be sold. Then this man thought, forget about it. No, I don't think I can get any money out of it. He said, okay, there ends the matter. But again, after 5 minutes, he came back. He said, I didn't give you money for the book, but I can give you a good advice. He said, please go ahead. He said, I can tell you how to become a rich man. So this devotee said, rich man? Okay, fine. Tell me how I become a rich man. Then again asked, but why do you want to become rich man? You are devotee, na? Said, okay, if I become rich man, I'll use it for Krishna. You can tell me what you want to. Then he said, okay, many people think that you can become rich man by earning a lot of money. But I'll tell you the secret how to become rich man. Not by earning a lot of money, but by not spending money. By saving money, you can become a rich man. You should not spend money, then you will become a rich man. Immediately this devotee thought, my God, he must be a Gujarati, Pakka Gujarati, because, he said, you should not spend money. So this devotee was sharing his realization. He was saying that, one way if you think about it, it's right actually. It's not about earning, it's about not spending. Like in Krishna consciousness, we think, if I do something extraordinary, then I can go back to Godhead. But frankly speaking, we don't need to do anything extraordinary. Whatever we are doing regularly is enough. Getting up in the morning, doing our sadhana, chanting Hare Krsna Mahamantra, taking prasadam, reading scriptures, having sadhu sangha. We're actually already earning enough. We don't need to earn more. Only thing what we are doing is, we are wasting it off. We are draining it off. Whatever we are earning, by speaking in an offensive way to devotees and by making Vaishnava aparadh, whatever we have earned, we are wasting it. We are, throwing it in the gutter. This is what we are doing. So just like, this man said, it's not about earning, it's about saving. Same thing is happening. We are already earning enough. Srila Prabhupada gave us such a wonderful program. And we are working so hard also, getting up early in the morning, trying to do so many things. But all that hard-earned money we are wasting by doing Vaishnava aparadh, by becoming insensitive and by speaking whatever we want and making offenses and hurting devotees. So if we can just, stop that leakage, wherever that leak is happening, then whatever we are doing is enough. We don't have to go like Hiranyakashipu or do some 10,000 years or go to Mandrachal Parvat and do tapasya. Nothing is required. Whatever we are doing in this Kali Yuga is enough. Only thing we should stop that money which we have earned from leaking, by making Vaishnava aparadh. So we should be careful not to make Vaishnava aparadh. So speaking without offending, when we speak, on our tongue there should be sugar factory. Always speak sweetly. Heart should have a love factory. Always be loving others. And our head should have an ice factory. Be cool in every situation. Be equipoised and, give a proper response, instead of immediately reacting. So, speaking without offending. One should be very careful in what we are talking. See, words make an impact. Words make let me tell you one. There was this one couple, newly married. So, husband and wife, newly married. Wife is still a little bit, not that free with him. And early in the morning, on the next day of marriage, husband says, I have to go to work. So can you get me some hot water? So now the way he's talking, can you get me hot water? Otherwise, the way he's speaking, the wife gets a little bit worried. Oh, why is showing so much anger? What he will do? Will he hit me or what if I don't make hot water? Immediately she made hot water and she got very frantic, Immediately she put it, hot water in the bathroom, and then he took bath and went to the office. Next day morning again he said, can you get my hot water? Otherwise, immediately he said, no, I'm just bringing your hot water, please, and then so this happened for 1 month, because the way he's threatening, otherwise, and she was worried, otherwise what will he do to me? So after 1 month she confined, she shared it with her friend, this is how my husband is threatening me every day, he says, get my hot water, get this, otherwise, get my milk, get this, otherwise, This lady was very intelligent. She said, why don't you just ask your husband, otherwise what? What will he do? So, with a lot of courage, next day morning, when her husband, told her that, will you get my hot water otherwise? So she asked, otherwise, what will you do? So immediately he said, otherwise, I'll take bath with cold water. That's what I've been trying to tell you last 1 month. That if you don't get me hot water, I'll take bath with cold water. That's all. So the point is the way he was speaking it, that was his body language. But poor fellow, what he meant was, if you don't give it, I'll manage with something else. That's the whole point. So this speech is very important, the way we talk, the way the words that we use, the choice of words, the way we put it, it's very important, makes an impact, So one has to be very careful that we are not offending people. Sometimes we may not even mean it actually, but maybe our body language is like that, the way we put ourselves. So we have to change ourselves, and we have to be careful that by my way of talking, behaving, I hope I'm not offending anybody, I'll tell you one joke a devotee was sharing the other day. The devotees from the manor, and he was saying that some native British he walked inside the manor, and he was just watching the whole temple and how everything is, the ambience and everything is very beautiful. So he said, above the altar, there is this one verse written, Hare Nameva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva Gatiranyatha. That verse is written on the top of the altar. So he said that this Britisher, he's a native, very new person to the temple. He was just watching everything. And he said, everything is nice. But what I'm wondering is, when he was reading that verse, Nasteva Gatiranyatha. So he was just asking that, what I'm wondering is that, who is this Eva? And why is she so nasty? Nasteva, Gatiranyatha. So he was asking, I'm just wondering, who is this Eva and why is she so nasty? 3 times it's written, nasty Eva, nasty Eva, nasty Eva. So this devotee was sharing that how words make such an, impact. Very careful one has to be with what kind of, words we speak, talk, or share with others. So, speaking without offending. I'll tell you this one last story and then we go to this other final sutra. It was a very popular story which was doing rounds, in the WhatsApp, and I picked it up from there, about the pending file of Yamaraj. There was this one king who decided that I want to host all the brahmanas, I want to feed them. So he invited everybody across the country, please come and have prasadam. And then he had the best of the cook. Now because they were hosting this prasadam for thousands of brahmanas, they could not cook it inside the kitchen. They had to have a makeshift arrangement because cooking for so many people. So they were just cooking it in open ground. So hundreds of cooks are cooking and nice prasadam. And when this prasadam was given to the brahmanas, all the brahmanas died. Now how the brahmanas died, what exactly happened was, there was this one eagle who attacked a snake and killed the snake. Now the snake was half dead and the eagle had the snake in the beak, and the eagle was flying over the place where the cooking was happening. So now this snake was dripping poison from the mouth. It's a dead snake. Now that poison went inside the dal, which was being cooked by the cooks. It's an open place. Now because the poison fell inside dal, all the brahmanas, they took prasadam and they all died. Now the king and all were very sorry about it. Wow, why this happened? What we can do? Everybody was very sorry about it. Now this file went to Yamaraj. So many brahmanas killed. Brahma Hatya. So who is to be punished? So the Yamaraj asked, you please suggest my ministers, what should we do? So one of them suggested the king should be punished. Because how dare, finally the king is in charge. The other person said, how can the king, be punished? Poor fellow, he has no intention of killing the brahmanas. He wanted to serve the brahmanas. Out of love and affection, he invited everybody. And how will he know? It is the cook's mistake. The cook's supposed to be careful while cooking that nothing is dropping inside, Not the king, the cook should be punished. The other person said, how can the cook be punished? Poor fellow, he's just cooking with so much hard work. He doesn't know. How will he imagine that the eagle is going with a dead snake and some poison will fall? He is just cooking sincerely. How can you punish him? Actually, the snake's supposed to be punished because the poison came from the snake. The other minister said, how can we punish the snake? Poor thing, it's dead. Even if it was alive, we can punish it. It is dead. Somebody is taking a dead snake from here and there. What can the snake do? Then somebody said, but the eagle can be punished because the eagle was taking the snake. Then the other minister said, well, how can we punish eagle? What did the eagle do? Eagle is hungry. He is eating a snake. So he is taking his food in the beak and going. What he has to do with what's happening down or brahmanas are cooking? He doesn't know. It's just a bird. How will he have the knowledge? So now they thought, my God, whom to punish? So Yamaraj said, let's keep the file pending because I don't know whom to punish. Years passed by. In that same kingdom, some other set of brahmanas came. And they were asking, the king has asked us to come for lunch. We want to know where is the king's palace. So they're asking everybody, how should we take a right, take a left? How do we go? There was this one lady, they asked, can we take a right from here or how? We are supposed to go to the king's palace. So immediately the lady asked, for what? The king has invited us for lunch. So immediately the lady started laughing. Why are you laughing? Oh, no, I just want to let you know that, what happened last time. He invited so many brahmanas and they all got killed. So be careful. I just want to let you know that be careful, you're going for lunch. And she was just making fun of it and she said, okay, now take a right and you can go. Now immediately Yamaraj took out his pending file and he called his ministers and said, whatever sin, to be given, sin reaction for killing so many brahmanas, put it in this lady's account. So the ministers protested. What did this lady do? Why are you going to put it in her account? Neither she cooked it, neither she put poison. She didn't do anything. Why are we transferring it to her? Then Yamaraj said, well, any sinful activity, it is committed for what? For pleasure. But by killing this, death of these brahmanas, neither the cooks were happy, neither the king was happy, neither the eagle was happy, neither the snake was happy. But this lady became very happy, taunting and talking about it with everybody. This happened and they were so careless. So looks like she got some pleasure out of it. So because she got a pleasure out of this sinful activity, let's transfer the sinful activity to her account. So imagine, sometimes, we may not even do things wrong, but if somebody has done wrong and we take pleasure in it, in making fun of them, this is what they did. He looks like a big devotee, but you know what? This is what he is. This is how it is. This is what, we think we are very intelligent. I'm just giving information just for everybody's knowledge. This is how this devotee, you may think he is great, but actually he is like this. And you may think I'm just giving an honest information, but you're taking pleasure in it, right? So you will get the sin. So we have to be so careful. So speak without offending, right? Live without pretending. Speak without offending. Hear without defending. And now we come to the, last sutra is love without expecting. We should love without expecting. Other day, what was that? Somebody came for blessings, in the school. We are getting married, please bless and all. So I was asking, why do you want to get married? What will happen? Why does a person get married? So they were saying, we get married because we want to become happy. Then I said, then forget about it. If you want to you want to marry because you want to become happy, then forget it. Then he said, what does this mean, Mataji? I said, no, it's not that you get married because you want to be happy. The whole mentality should be, I'm very happy and I want somebody in my life to share this happiness with. So whom should I share this happiness? Oh yeah, this person. So that's why I want to marry you, because I'm happy and I want to share something with you. I have something and I want to give it to you. if with that mentality you get married, then you'll be happy. But if you're expecting that if I get married and this person is going to give me all happiness and he's going to give, then you will be unsatisfied. Because in this world, nobody wants to give. Everybody wants to take. So our mentality should be, I want to give. Then you will be happy. Both should have that mentality. The husband should have that, I want to give her happiness, and the wife should say, I want to give her happiness. But if you want something from others, you will be unsatisfied. So not only in the material sense, even loving Krishna should be without expectation. See, there is a difference between loving and liking. When you like something, let's say you like a rose. Oh, you smell the rose, you take a selfie with the rose, you hold the rose in your hand. That is liking. If you love the rose, you will go and nourish it. You will water it. You will take care of it from sun. That is loving. So, do we like Krishna or do we love Krishna? That's one question we can ask ourselves. We like Krishna, then we want oh Krishna, give me this, give me that, give me this, But if you love Krishna, then you say, Krishna, I want to serve you. What can I do for you? That's loving Krishna. So loving means serving. Loving means without expecting. If you are loving somebody and then you are having some expectation, then that is transaction. It's a transaction. I'm doing something for you and you do something for me. But love, definition of love is it is unconditional. It's without expectation. So we love Krishna, then we should love him without any strings attached, without any expectation. As Krishna, I love you. And see, the whole point is we want Krishna and we want this and we want that and we want Krishna also. It doesn't work like that. We want Krishna means we want only Krishna. See, for example, if I have a lot of things in my hand, how will Krishna hold my hand? I'll have to leave all these things. Then Krishna can hold my hand and take me back home, back to Godhead. So there is no point in worshipping Krishna and trying to get materially settled. Having said that, some devotee, the immediate question will be, but no, actually, if I don't ask Krishna for a stable job and a proper health, then how will I, continue my Krishna consciousness? No harm in that. If whatever is helping you, like certain financial stability or proper health or proper relationships will help you progress in Krishna consciousness. So that's fine, that's all right. But it should not become a business transaction all the time, trying to have greed for more and more. Okay, if this is going to help me, or as of now, this particular problem is bringing about an obstacle in my Krishna conscious life, then you can always approach Krishna, that Krishna, please help me. But, all said and done, we just need to approach Krishna. Rest, he takes care actually. We don't even have to specifically let him know. He knows what is to be done. So, we just go in front of him and we be aligned to him. And, we chant and, be conscious of him is enough. Rest, he takes care, I'll tell you one last story and try to end it here. Is it already 1 hour? Oh my God. Okay, so I'll just end this story here. I'll tell this story and end it here. You must have heard about Baron Rothschild. He was a rich man. Very rich man. And, rich men have their own fantasies. So he decided that he wants to be painted as a beggar. So he calls the world's best painter. He says, paint me as a beggar. This man also was a very big, perfectionist. He said, I can't paint you like that as a beggar. If you want that real look, you stay hungry, do upavasam, stay hungry for some time and then you should look like that, then I can paint you nicely. So he fasted for, 1 month or something, and then he was looking very pale and tired, and then this painter dressed him like a beggar with all torn clothes, and somewhere on the street, he made him stand there, and across the street he was painting him like a beggar, standing with his beggar's ball, all pale looking and tired looking, and so he was painting him to get that natural look. Now meanwhile somebody was walking on the street and saw a beggar, just a beggar. So immediately he gave $1 in the beggar's bowl and left. Now he wanted to say that don't do that. I'm Baron Rothschild, the richest man in the world. But he can't move because that man is painting him. So he just stays there and this person puts the money and goes away. After a few months, the manager of Baron Rothschild goes in search of that man who had, given that $1, and finally finds him and gives him, $10,000. So he said, "What is this?" He said, "You remember a few months back you had given $1 to a beggar?" So I don't remember. I give to many beggars. I don't remember. So he said somehow, that beggar was not a beggar. He was a very rich man. He was an investment banker. So he invested your $1 and this is the money, came out of that investment. So we are just giving it to you. So he said, "But I don't even know that he is a rich man." So this manager replied, "You don't know who he is, but he knows who he is. So you may not know, but he knows who he is. So he invested your money in the right place." So we don't know how great Krishna is, but Krishna knows, how great he is. So we don't have to all the time go and ask, "Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, please give me, please give me." We don't know Krishna is great, but Krishna knows, what is his position, and he will give according to his capacity. Like this man gave $1 according to his capacity, but Baron Rothschild, being a rich man, he gave according to his capacity, the $10,000. So Krishna knows what to give, when to give, how to give, how much to give. We don't have to get so much worked up about it, We can simply surrender to him, pray to him, love him, and he'll take care of us. So if we follow this, sutras in our life, I remember this one last pastime, and then I'll end it here. Prabhupada was in Jhansi, and he was distributing books, So he distributed this book called Easy Journey to Other Planets. So there was this one man who took this book and he asked in Hindi, "Prabhupada, if I read this book, can I go to other planets?" So Prabhupada said, yeah, not only other planets, you can also go back to Goloka Vrindavan. And this boy became very happy. "Really?" Prabhupada said, "Yes." But then he asked, "But after going to Goloka Vrindavan, can I come back to Jhansi?" The Prabhupada said, "No, you cannot come back to Jhansi. Once you go there, then you cannot come back. Then I don't want to go. Then I don't need this book. I want to come back to Jhansi." Now, that's our situation. We are following the whole Krishna conscious process, but somewhere deep in our heart we think, if I do this, I'll be comfortable in my, Vizag or Vijayawada or, Vishakhapatnam. That's all. We are not even mentally preparing ourselves that, no, actually I need to go back home, back to God. We actually want to stay here, but we want to stay here comfortably, and for that we want to follow Krishna conscious process. So that needs to be, removed, So anyway, that will take us to another topic. So coming back here, if we follow these 4 sutras in our life, we have to, not to live, by pretending, live without pretending, and speak without offending, and hear without defending, and love Krishna without expecting. If we follow these 4 sutras of our life, then we can be happy in Krishna consciousness. See, once we are in Krishna consciousness, once we come into this whole process of Krishna consciousness, we can actually never go back. Only thing is, if we don't follow it properly, we will be a miserable devotee. Once we are, come in touch with devotees and take this process of Krishna consciousness, there is only 2 choices we have. Either we can become happy devotee or we can become miserable devotee. But devotee will remain. That we cannot, because once you get the taste of it and once you understand whole the philosophy, you'll always remain a devotee. But only thing is, do you want to be a miserable devotee or you want to be a happy devotee? That's your choice. And if we follow these sutras, then we'll be a happy devotee. We can go back home, back to God and dancing. So with this, I end it here. And as usual, I always speak more than the time allotted, and I am sorry for that. And thank you so much for tolerating me. I'll close it here. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Okay. Your question is, how can busy students be more Krishna conscious? By organizing our time in a proper way. Everybody has 24 hours and we are still trying, make out time. If we see, like today we were talking about leakage, leakage. So we need to also check where the time is getting there is leakage in the time schedule, where we are wasting time. Sometimes, if it's all there in the mind, we'll not even understand where our time got wasted. But if you actually put it on paper, you will actually realize there are a lot of time. So if you actually have proper sleeping habits, and if you have proper eating habits, and if you have a proper timetable schedule, definitely you can get some time for pursuing your Krishna conscious practices. So you need to put it on paper, and you need to sit with somebody who can help you, like a third party, because your mind will not allow you to put things on the timetable, saying that but this time is for de-stressing, but this time is for this. So you need to sit with somebody and then make a proper timetable schedule and just check out what time you are getting up in the morning, how much time are you using in your social media or for other forums like Facebook or something, how much time is going there, how much actual time is going for college assignments. So you need to just plan. If you fail to plan, then you are planning to fail. You have to plan. Everything has to go according to a plan. A student means his life should be disciplined and planned. He cannot do anything which is not there in the schedule. Like those days in the Gurukul boys, disciple means discipline. How those disciples were there in Guru's ashram. Everything has to be, planned, scheduled. What time you'll get up, how much you will talk, it has to be done for some time. Even though it may appear to be mechanical or austere, but it needs to be done. Like I give the example that a stone has to be chiseled. It has to be by the sculpturer. Then only it will come, it will have a beautiful form. So in the student life, brahmachari life is very difficult, You cannot compare your life with others, and when you see their life, you will feel, wow, so relaxed. They can happily go for Sunday programs. But your life, you will have to plan it in a very proper manner. How much time I'll give for what time I'll get up, what I will eat. Actually, there is this 5 sutras for student, Bako Dhyanam, Swen Nidra, Alpahari. I'm not able to recollect all the 5, but how a student should eat frugal, Grihatyagi. He should be though he's living in the house, actually Grihatyagi, they're supposed to live in Guru's ashram in Gurukul and get disciplined, because parents will be so sweet. They cannot be very strict with the child, but Guru, teacher, they can be very strict. Like those days, you have to go and get firewood for Guru Patni, and you have to do some Vapu Seva to Guru, and only after Guru asks you to eat, you can eat. But here the parents will be there with 20 items in front of you, and AC is on, and you eat, you do this, so much pampering will be there. But actually student means Grihatyagi and Alpahari. He should eat frugal. He should not stuff himself with all pizza, that diet. He should be very careful in what kind of diet he's taking. Bako Dhyanam, he should have a focus like a crane. Swain Nidra, he should sleep like a dog. Dog, when you move, you see some dog on the road, immediately the dog will move. Anybody walking on the street, road, so alert. You should be like you should be like that, So, Kaka Cheshta, his Cheshta should be like a crow. How the crow is, I told you the story of the thirsty crow putting the pebbles and trying to. So, these are the 5 things. Kakasheshta, Bako Dhyanam, Alpahari, Grihatyagi, Swenanedra, Vidyarthi, Panchalakshanam. These are the 5 lakshanam of a Vidyarthi. So, some other day I can, speak in more detail about this, but I hope you got some idea of what I'm trying to convey. Thank you.
We don't think that if we do this, Krishna will do this to us. Do it without.
Okay. So, what I understand your question is that as of now we are asking Krishna. So, when will we come to that stage when we don't ask Krishna? So, it will gradually happen. At least now you should make sure that you ask only Krishna and not anybody else. So, it's like before you become a pure devotee, at least we need to become a devotee. So devotee means whether he has so many desires or he has no desires, he will worship only Krishna, love only Krishna, get angry only with Krishna, talk only with Krishna. Everything is with Krishna only. So first we come to that stage where we become a devotee, and where whatever we have, we will not start running away to Shivaji or Shivji or Ganeshji or anybody else, just because Krishna is not fulfilling, let me go and do this yagya or do this or do that and it will be fulfilled. Just stick to Krishna. And then you ask Krishna only, and especially like you see, Srila Prabhupada, he said this one thing, right? That even when you ask to Krishna, you say, Krishna, if you so desire, then I'm thinking that this will help me, or I want this or want. So even in your desire, you can add Krishna's desire. So you can ask Krishna, if you so desire, then can you please do this for me? If you feel it is correct for me, can you do this for me? You can start like that with Krishna. And then slowly, there are so many ways you can deal with Krishna. Sometimes you can say, Krishna, you know what is good for me, so, please take care of me. That's it. So, see, the whole point is, if I tell you at this moment, don't ask anything also, then, you may not have any relationship with Krishna. So, to start a relationship, you need to talk something. And usually our talks as of now on this level is something to do with our daily life. This happened, that happened, and can you please help me? We need Krishna's help all the time. So, we can start with that, and then, slowly come to that level where, along with our desire, we add that if Krishna desires, and then we say, Krishna, if you think it is okay, or we say, Krishna, you please do whatever you think is, beneficial for me. And then, at one point, you can slowly stop when Krishna knows what is good for me. So I don't think I need to ask him. But, see, the whole point when I'm saying that, love without expecting, the point that I'm trying to drive is that don't limit your relationship with Krishna only for that. You can ask Krishna, and even if Krishna doesn't fulfill that particular desire, the relationship should be same. Your relationship should not be limited to fulfillment of your desire. Then it is loving, with expectations. Means strings attached. Krishna, I want good marks in my chemistry exam. Oh, you didn't help me? I don't think I want to worship you. I don't think I'm going to complete my rounds today, and I think I'd better switch to something else. That's what I'm trying to, drive the point, that whatever it is, I'll ask you, I'll fight with you. Okay, if you didn't give me, no problem, I'll again try. But you don't break your relationship if you don't get it. So this is what is meant by love without expecting. If you do it, great. If you don't do it also, I know you are my well-wisher, and I know you have planned for me. That's it. So the best would be, just pray, and he knows what is best for you. And even if you want to have a conversation, see, sometimes when you have a relationship with somebody, you want to express it, is it not? You want to say something to Krishna. So sometimes, some devotees may not enjoy this, where you don't say anything, you just stand, but sometimes you really want to talk to Krishna, and you tell him, Krishna, this is a trouble I had, this is what happened, can you please help me? So that way, actually, what you're doing is, you are developing a relationship, you're talking to him, you are expressing yourself. That will increase your love for Krishna. So no harm in that. You can go ahead and do it. But don't limit it to that, and don't make it like, if you don't give it, then I don't worship him anymore. And it should not be that my whole purpose of approaching you is just to fulfill my desires. That's it. You are my supplier, supplier of my desires. And if I don't get anything from you, then I'm, Krishna is not a bellboy, like in the olden Victorian times, you go to a hotel and then you have a bell there, and you put the bell and the waiter comes, oh, come on, give me masala dosa, give me this, give me that. And if the waiter delays, you again put bell. Hey, what happened? Where is my order? So Krishna is not that kind of an order supplier. You go to the temple and put the bell. Hey, what happened? I told you last weekend about my chemistry scores. There's still not improvement. No, it's not like that. You have a relationship with him, and you want him to help you. But it's not that if the help doesn't come, you leave him. That's the whole point I was trying to make.
I just wanted to ask another one. So just I wanted some tips. Sometimes when I'm chanting, I don't have that focus, and I kind of drive off to sleep. So how do I prevent that from happening?
Okay, your question is that sometimes when you're trying to chant, you go off to sleep. Yeah, actually it will happen, because what happens is when we chant, immediately our mind becomes very peaceful. And all that running here and there was happening has become cool now. So because it becomes peaceful, immediately your eyes will close. In fact, those who have sleep problem, if they chant, they don't need any sleeping tablets also. Immediately you will sleep, you will feel to sleep. But all said and done, if we want to do our chanting nicely, then we need to make certain preparations. Sit in the right position. Don't lie down on a sofa and chant, or don't lie down somewhere or in a relaxed chair. Like Prabhupada's japa tape, you hear that. Sit straight. You sit straight. You wash your face. If you are feeling sleepy, walk around. Just before starting the chanting, read something or hear something which will inspire you to chant. No, I should chant. It's my duty, or I have to chant. And sleep enough. Don't be sleep deprived. And if you overstuff yourself with fatty, cheesy food, also, you tend to sleep. And have the right ambience. Don't put a dim light and some cozy place, and then you chant. You'll definitely sleep. Put all the lights on and just walk and do something. So you have to create certain ambience. Physically, and the situation. And again, all said and done, what you have done in the whole day also will affect your chanting. If you have been in proper consciousness and you have associated with the right modes of nature, that also will help your chanting. If you have been in too much tamasic, rajasic also. So like that, so many things will contribute to your chanting. So just check, where you are going wrong. You can continue whatever you are doing. You don't need to subtract it. You have just added Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and that's fine. So you said like you are continuing doing one round of Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, so that's all right, And you can continue doing, because this is the Guru Mantra, right? It comes in Guru Parampara, in our Gaudiya Parampara. So we do our 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And apart from that, you can do your Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, and you don't have to remove or stop, or you can just continue doing it. In fact, since even I'm a Gujarati and brought up in a Pushti Marg atmosphere, I love to hear Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama bhajans, and I love to hear Yamunashtakam and Narsi Mehta's bhajans, and I still continue hearing them. So there is nothing wrong. Yeah, you can continue that. Yeah.
Okay, so I continue.
Yeah, definitely you can continue. It's Krishna's name, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. My Lord, I take your Sharanagati, I surrender to you. So there is nothing wrong, Only you finish your 16 rounds, and then you chant Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama whole day. Nothing wrong in that.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, there is one more question.
Okay, last question, and we'll end it here. Yes.
In the series, Mataji, I'm eagerly waiting for that.
Actually, I gave that series for Surat devotees. And after that, I could not give them time from my schedule. So it was never completed. I just spoke 4 episodes. And after that, I could not give them a date to complete that. And I promised them that I'll complete that series with them. So I don't know when, but shortly I'm going to Surat in February for a Bhagavat Saptaha. So let's see if I can complete that 64 qualities at that time, February sometime.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. And I wanted to say that I also belong to Pushti Marg family, Mataji.
Okay.
From Pushti Marg Parampara, actually.
Okay, nice. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you so much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Sab Krishna, Krishna, Krishna lage. Sab Krishna, Krishna, Krishna lage. Sab Krishna, Krishna, Krishna lage. Sab Krishna, Krishna